Welcome everybody to History Lessons. I'm the journalist Sin-seer, and today we are joined by Chucky Smash of the Legion. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yeah, no doubt. Peace to everybody. Peace to the whole show. My
No
man
doubt.
Sincere, let's go, no doubt.
Yeah, we're going to talk about what you have going on in 2024. But before we do that, we want to get to a little bit of history of Chucky Smash. Let everybody know where you were born and raised.
I was born and raised Bronx, New York. I was born in Harlem, raised in between Bronx and Harlem.
Okay,
Um, Child of the '70s.
no doubt. Teenage years for Chucky Smash. What was it like growing up in New York?
Teenage years was lovely, man. I had a great childhood. Like I said, I grew up in the BX. Um, the origin, around beginnings of hip hop when the shit was just starting out, and you talking the origin, Zulu Nation, Black Spades. You mentioned history, so that's that's where it all began. I know a lot of people bring up Cool Herc, Cedric, as what they know online, but it was a whole section. It was a whole section. For me, primarily, I was influenced Zulu Nation. I grew up around right near Bronx River projects. I'm from the Soundview, Lafayette Soundview section of the Bronx. LIP is what they call it.
Hmm.
Right. So we like right slap dab in the middle of all of it.
What were you witnessing as far as I don't even know if the term hip hop was around at that time, but what was you witnessing musically at such an early age around the Bronx?
Um, the classics, of course. I don't know if my camera froze. Did I freeze on you?
No, you
Make sure
good.
my joint did. Yeah. So the soul music, R&B. The heavy influence. Stevie Wonder. Our pops. I got one brother. Our pops. Um, is from Harlem. So some of my vivid memories, like little childhood pictures, I see me and my brother Stevie Wonder records. James Brown, Amar Jamal. Then of course like the classics, the OJs, stylistics. So the music influence plus being around moms. Our moms is from Jamaica, so part Harlem, part Jamaica. Part of Jamaican heritage. So Bob Marley, a lot of Yellow Man, a lot of good reggae joints.
Right.
So I grew up as a hobby. So that whole fusion, boom, is what spawned me, is what spawned us. The Legion, myself, Rollo Square, it's my little brother. I would say my favorite is James Brown, Stevie Wonder.
No
So
doubt.
that's my fond memories as a child.
As far as visually seeing what was going on in the Bronx, what did you see early on, on the block?
It was so it used to be you would hear people say, yo, the Bronx burnt down Bronx. I did experience that. I moved around and it was literally burnt down buildings. We were playing abandoned buildings. It was real, it was massive blocks of just abandoned buildings. Some was burnt down. Um, there was a movie, The Fort Apache, the Bronx. That shit
Right.
was, it was written. Yeah, it was really like that.
Right.
Um, a lot of drugs, a lot of crime. Wasn't uncommon to see people, duking it out in the streets. Constant police sirens. It was not uncommon to see, even though it was our people, dope fiend laying in the alley, crackhead smoking it, Not that it was anything to glorify, but that shit. That's just what it was.
Right. For Chucky Smash, musically, how did you start getting into hip hop? A lot of MCs would say, they were breakdancing, graffiti. For
Mm-hmm.
Chucky
Mm-hmm.
Smash, how did you, start to transition into hip hop?
Yeah, we could start right there. Break dancing, graffiti. I was breaking. I was electric boogieing and breaking and graffiti in first. My big cousin RDJ introduced me to him and his sister Kathy. So we're going to the now. Let's go fast forward to the Bronx. My cousin RDJ, when this thing that now is called hip hop, when it first started to form, he took me to the first jam. So he's older. He was older than me. So he let me tag along with him and his friends. He was breaking. One of the records I can remember is Calypso Breakdown. Ralph McDonald. If I'm saying it right. and I was seeing they would get on the floor. They was getting on the floor, which was break. There was break. I was like, wow, so I'm just a little kid
Right.
soaking it all in. We in the basement of his building. So, I'm there, little kid, checking it out. His friends, again, the older guys, Sabu, Cliff, Andre, again, I'm talking names that people don't know, but I'm just talking about people from my neighborhood. They was doing the beginnings of what I saw as breaking. Take, one record to this record and catching the groove, catching the break. So again, I'm just watching them. We just, me and my little bro, we just watching them, and they on the ground breaking. So little by little, of course, hanging out with my little friends. You try it. You see the big boys. You want to do what the big boys do.
Right.
My cousin also was graffiti. He was writing Zorro. Again, I'm talking. This is the early '70s. So again, I'm looking at him. I guess you say I'm influenced. My big cousin or the older guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing him, hearing him writing. And one of the records that stick out in my head, around this time, I know bouncing all over the place, but in those jam eras, Funky 4 plus One More, Shy Rock, I could remember being with my cousin, and I could just remember at the echo chambers, this is the way we rock the house. Sure enough, everybody. So I could recite that joint the whole. So again, repetition, seeing it, but the energy was there. Somebody was set up. Sometimes we would be in the basement. It was about getting power to plug in the record player, bringing the speakers down. This is the stuff. It could be house speakers. It'd be like 2 or 3 people bringing house speakers. You got mad wires. They hooking them up to the turntables. But that was the origins. So I saw it from his inception.
Right.
Again, I'm a little kid, so I'm not part of it, but I'm definitely witnessing it.
Right. At what point do you start to transition to writing and being an MC?
So in the '70s, so again, I lean on my cousin RDJ. I would say around that time, I got my first MC name was Peanut. I got a big head, big Charlie Brown head, so he started calling me Peanut. That was my just like ABC rhymes, just trying to get my identity.
Right.
So, but all along with that, in the Bronx, it's a big Latin community. A lot of my friends growing up, a lot of my peers was Spanish, Puerto Rican, or Dominican. So my homeboy Ozzy and my other homeboy Carl, I'm talking like 2nd, 3rd grade now. They could draw a little bit better. I was always into art. So just from in class, my man Carl, he had an older brother Kenneth that hung out with my cousin, so they Spanish. So, but he's more of a writer. So I had a little bit more rhythm and souls. I was trying to get onto the breakdancing, but he and I kind of collaborated a little bit. So we started writing together. So I would say first starting to be a writer, but in conjunction, I wasn't really that good as a breaker. So I started electric boogieing. I started popping. I started getting my way, getting into that.
Right.
So again, we talk in the '70s, and that transitioned into the '80s. Again, still a student of the game. Now, again, at this time now, I also got older aunties and stuff. My aunties and them, they hitting the clubs in New York City, big nightclub in New York City.